Hi folks! Thanks for joining us on this video. If you're new here, I'm Willie.
And I'm Sarah.
We're a musician and artist who escaped suburbia and now live in a nearly 200-year-old cottage on the Isle of Skye in the Scottish Highlands with our dogs, Jack Spaniels, and the newest member of our clan, puppy Nori.
This week, with our seedlings starting to grow, we need to find somewhere to plant them that will stand up to the wild Skye weather and our crazy puppy.
We need some planters, and in true Skye Life fashion, we won't be buying them ready-made. Oh no, it's time to dust off the tools and get building again.
Plus, the foraging season gets underway with a wonderful woodland bounty.
And our boat undergoes a major makeover in preparation for our first outing at sea of the new season.
Join us as we continue.
Living the Skye Life. We've had quite a few comments from people saying, why don't you grow some vegetables? And actually, when I lived in London, I had a huge garden and I did grow vegetables, and I love growing vegetables. We didn't last year because we were building. This year we can, but we've got a puppy. So instead of making raised beds that are on the ground that the puppy would almost certainly dig up, we're going to make some planters.
The only place that really gets any decent sun is outside the front of the cottage. So it's going to look a bit different, but hopefully it's going to be worth it.
And we don't know whether to paint them wood like the seats that are there, or if we're going to paint them white so they don't take away from the overall look of the cottage. Let us know what you think.
Maybe we could paint them bright pink.
Or teal.
The possibilities are endless.
Let's get outside, make some measurements, get some wood ordered, and build these things. So we took a tape measure outside to measure up. We decided to build 4 planters in total in 2 different sizes and in a sheltered spot in front of the cottage. We moved the benches under the windows to prevent the plants from growing up and blocking out all of the light and the view from our windows. I'm in Yolanda and I'm in the car park at Jan's, the hardware store in Portree, and I'm here because I've got to get some compost for the Skye Life cottage garden planters that I'm about to build. So we've got the topsoil in order, but we don't have any compost, so I'm having to buy some in this year, and hopefully we'll be able to have our own next year because we're going to get a compost bin. So I'm just going to pop in there now and fill up the Land Rover as much as I can take today for the planters. Let's do it. I love Jan's hardware store. The staff are ace. They always make a fuss of the dogs, and they even help you load your car if you're buying heavy items. Because we've decided to paint the cuddy of the boat, and I've already done one coat in here, we're having to replace the windows as well. I mean, I could keep them in, but who would want to? Look at the state of them, you can hardly see through them. And also, they're cracked in places as well. Given a good storm, they'll just blow out. That's the outside, and that's the outside through these windows. They're really tatty. We can't have that. So I've ordered new perspex and it's arrived today. Plan is now get these out, use them as a template to cut the new ones. And this rubber as well, it's all completely solid. Because they're just that old, I think they're original for the boat. I don't even know how old the boat is. Probably 1990s, I'd say. Sarah's coming to join me and she's going to paint the outside of the cabin. Together, teamwork, hopefully in the next couple of days we'll have new windows and a beautiful new paint job. Fingers crossed. Time to get these old windows out. This was straightforward, but it did reveal that the rubber was so perished and brittle, it was literally snapping to pieces in my hands. Also, the perspex they'd used was only 3mm thick, which would explain the cracks. Boat windows should be made of 6mm thick perspex, like the new sheets that I'd ordered. Right, so the windows were pretty easy to get out, and now Sarah's going to come and do some sanding, preparing the fiberglass to accept the new windows, and also for the paint, because obviously we have to paint it as well.
You told them what colour you're painting it?
No? Are you excited?
Gonna leave that as a surprise?
Yeah.
Place your bets now, folks.
Let's do this. First I used the old window as a template and marked a new sheet with a Sharpie. I'd never used a jigsaw before, so once I'd clamped the perspex to the bench, I made a practice cut first. This was easy, so I went ahead with cutting the window out. Right, that's one window cut out. I've still got another 3 to do, but actually it wasn't too hard. It was pretty easy actually. Big thanks to Richard because he lent me this jigsaw. I didn't have a jigsaw and I was going to buy one, but he said don't buy one, just borrow mine. Good lad, so I bought him some new blades for it. I'll get these other 3 cut out now and then I'll sand the edges and then I'll get them in hopefully. Well, after the paint job anyway. So the edges are all cut now, but they're a little bit rough, so I'm just sanding them back. Right, that's the windows cut and sanded, and Sarah's now outside painting. She's doing the undercoat, and once the undercoat's on there and dry, we can put on the 2 coats of paint. I was about to say the colour there. You'll see soon though. Finished doing the coat of paint and it started raining and then it stopped raining and it was raining again, so let's just have a quick look. It's not meant to be raining at all. The weather forecast said there was no rain today forecast whatsoever. It's just beading on the top though. I don't think it's going to make much difference because it's not water-based paint. You might get a little sort of indentations where the raindrops were. We've got 2 coats of paint to go on top, so I don't think you'd see that anyway, so let's just hope it dries okay and then we can get on the final coat of paint and put the windows back in. Here he comes.
One bag full?
That is a lot of dirt.
Did we just buy dirt?
We did, but it's delicious.
Dirty Secrets of Scotland.
Nice. He's loading up the wood now. He's had to take stuff out on the left there, you can see like a pipe and stuff. That's for some other customers. Here he comes. Hooray! Sorted. Well, that was really good of Cor. Cor's the driver that brought all our stuff for the builds, the various builds, and now he's brought this. He's a good guy. Anyway, he's put it here and that's very kind of him. That's where I wanted it. I've got to now handball this all round the other side of the building to get it out of the way because I don't want it sitting here. Otherwise we can't use the drive for the car and the Land Rover, there's no room. So I've got to move it all by hand, which is yeah, kind of fun-ish. That went well. Time to put Yolanda back on the drive because right now she's sitting over there looking all majestic and that, but let's get her back on the drive. Job number 1, get the roller skate out of the way.
It's a Dodgem car actually.
There we are, normal service has resumed.
Worker Willie is back.
Yeah man, it's been a while.
You haven't worn the shirt in a while.
No, not since I was building last time. It's Sarah bought me this actually.
And it's covered in building detritus.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter anymore if you get it dirty.
No.
Didn't stay new for long, guys. Feels like old times.
Yeah, it does. Have a cup of tea.
Haha. Well then, get to work.
Alright, dib dib dib, let's do this. So I set up my tools, with canine supervision, of course, and began building the frames. The legs had to be on the inside, as the bottom of the cottage walls have uneven stones that stick out, and this way we could tuck the planters in closer to the walls.
Done?
Done.
All of them?
What? All 4 of them? I haven't even finished the first one yet.
Okay.
How's that? What's the verdict?
Oh, it seems pretty solid, yeah?
I think it's strong enough, eh? I hope so, because Jack's under it, Sarah.
You're a bit silly, aren't you, boys?
Do you think it's a bath? Do you think it works?
I think it works, but Nori really wants to eat it.
Nori, don't eat that, I just made it. I need to build you a sauna with a bath.
Yeah, please. That's the next project after this one, right?
Excellent. Right, I need to put the sides in it now after lunch. Fun and games. Time to build the sides. I opted to fit vertical boards, as this would mean more points to affix, shorter boards, and therefore a stronger overall construction. Plus, it looks pretty cool this way, I think.
Been put in jail, have you? Because what were you doing? You were humping your mum while she was trying to cut bits of wood.
Still got to paint it, still got to line it, still got to fill it full of compost and dirt, etc. and then put plants in it. But as far as building is concerned, that's done. Hiya, pal.
No, you're not sure what to do.
Jack, do you want to come in as well?
Oh!
Just when you think you know your dogs really well.
I've just realised it's probably a really bad idea putting Nori inside it because it's
You would
supposed to not.
Stop him from digging in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's it, we've ruined it.
Right, out. Forget about this, Nori. Forget about this. Come on, let me get you.
Well, we're really chuffed, it's looking good. I've just got another 3 to build now. I've done well today, I think. I've managed to build one complete one, and I've built a frame for another one which is the same size, 180 in length, and another one which is 150, and there's another one coming that's 150, but that's not for today. I've done a fair amount, and Sarah's helped out as well, which has been great. So yeah, that was cool. Day 1 of building these things, and not bad. I've just driven out to one of our favourite foraging spots in the woods. The reason I'm here is I'm after one of my favourite things to forage, wild garlic. We've got some exciting ideas what to do with it this year, but first of all we've got to go and find it, so let's do that. Watch out for the bits you don't want. And I don't uproot them, I'm just taking the leaves, and that way I can come back every year and do this again and again. That's enough from this spot. I'll move on to another spot. You can probably see why I need wellies now, because most of the time I'm standing in the water while foraging it. As you can see, the forest floor is carpeted with the stuff. It's so abundant, so it's no problem to take it. And if you look closely under here, this is all new growth as well. So we're going to have a nice second crop too. I'm only taking the larger ones, not the little ones like this. I'm leaving, with the exception of this one, of course. But that's the same thing, it's just a young version of it. So we'll come back here, we'll probably get 2 or 3 crops this year, I hope. This tree is clearly uprooted in a storm at some point, so this actually makes it much easier for me because it's at my shoulder height. So I can collect it right off the root ball of this tree. Let me tell you something, it absolutely stinks of garlic in here, it's amazing. You can't smell this, but it's, believe me, it just smells beautiful, beautiful aroma. Hey, work smarter, not harder, folks. Nice. Okay, I've got a basket full now, which is enough. I don't need any more, so I'll leave the rest for other foragers and for us later in the year as well. We just keep coming back until the end of season, probably in about a month. Back to Skye Life Cottage now to the kitchen, and let's make some kitchen creations from this. That rain passed over and it's a nice night now. It's actually quite sunny as the sun goes down, so I'm going to get a quick coat of paint on the inside of the cuddy. Let's do this. Okay, the light is fading and it's going to rain tomorrow and the day after, so we have to get a coat of paint on this evening.
I was this close to not getting off the sofa.
Yeah, so was I, but we've got to, because otherwise it's not going to be sealed. It's only got undercoat on, so action stations, and you're about to find out what colour we're painting it. Bright red seemed like a safe choice, as if we were to get into trouble on the water, this would be seen from a mile away. Plus, there are red details on the boat already. All we had to do was race against a rapid fall of darkness to complete the paint job. And we just made it. Well, it's a pretty miserable day on Skye this morning. The paint from last night has dried in spite of it raining overnight, but I know it got at least 6 hours of no rain, so it should be completely fine. The next job is to put the rubber seal in, and then the windows, so let's do that. Oh yeah, I should have said, there's a storm coming tonight. Tomorrow and the next day there will be winds that exceed 60 miles an hour, so I've got to get these windows in before that storm gets here. Also, it'll be a test to see if they blow out, because if they do, it's better that it happens on the drive than out there at sea. Window time. corner won't go in, and neither will the top, which means that it's slightly too big, which I had kind of feared actually. So I'm going to have to shave a bit off and then try again. Right, I've carefully gone round and round it a couple of times. I think I've taken about 1 millimetre off overall, but we'll see. Let's try and get it in again. Right, we got the window in. Now, I've got to get that little fillet that goes in the middle. It's like a little seal. You start at the opposite end from where you started with the first seal. So I'm going to start from the bottom rather than from the top, so there's a full seal all the way around. Right. We got that one in. Now I've just got to put the other 3 in. But what I'll do is I'll come back when they're all in. Well, it's rained and I'm soaked, but I did it. And there it is to prove it. It looks so good. I really like the red as well because it's got the red stripe down the side, red and blue. We don't want to go blue because then you can't really see it in the sea. But red, on the other hand, I think that looks really cool. What do you think? Very tired now. I'm up in the cabin and it looks really good. The paintwork inside, the clarity of the windows is amazing. It really has made such a difference and I'm so chuffed. I'll get the cover back on now before the storm hits, and that'll be the real test. Let's see what happens to the windows in a 60 mile an hour plus winds storm. Hopefully not a lot, but we'll see. Well, the storm did come in overnight and wind speeds were up to 90 miles per hour, but I'm glad to report that the wee boat, our new paint job and our new shiny windows were all unharmed.
So much for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please do leave us a like, a comment or subscribe to our channel if you don't already. It's free to do and it helps our channel to grow.
If you did enjoy the video and you'd like to support the channel further, you can do so over on Ko-fi. You can buy us a coffee or the dogs a wee treat, and what I really mean, as I always say, is help with the running costs of this channel.
Or if you want to help us out more long term, you can join our amazing community over on Patreon, where you get bonus updates for helping us out each month.
If you're interested in our creative endeavours, you can go over to Sarah's Etsy store for some paintings and artwork.
Or if you want to check out Willie's original music, you can go over to his Bandcamp page and see what's available there.
And as always, the links to all of this is in the video description below.
Thanks again for watching, and we will see you
next week.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Is it surf time?
I'm doing a shimmy.
We really need to talk about this and just sort of plan something. We never plan it, and then it just happens, and then we just sort of flap like fish. We're leaving our suburban life, moving over the sea to Skye. Are we chasing a dream? I guess in time we will see, when we're living the Skye life. Living the Skye life. I didn't do my teeth.
No.
No.
No wild garlic.
No wild garlic. There's a little wagtail on the lawn.
There is a little wagtail on the lawn.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Because we've decided to paint the cuddy of the boat. Cuddy. It's very tasty. Granola. That is the future of our... You're Nori in the back.
The dog's howling.
Right, so because we decided to paint the cuddy, cuddy? I can never remember the two. Cuddy. Cubby is in the car, cuddy is in the boat.
There's another doggy! Can we put the doggy in?
Well, we finished one so far. Because we've decided to paint the inside, because we've decided to paint the cuddy of the boat, cuddy. Oh. Click here to subscribe to live in the Skye life.
Click here to go back to the start of our adventures with our very first episode.